And all right, you
Okay.
want to? All right.
Yeah, so there's two projects that came up that are on the agenda. Um, the first one was 16 Washington Street, was looking to install mini splits.
Okay.
I guess I should maybe preface by saying in both cases, there's a section in the bylaw that says a public hearing need not be held if the hearing is waived in writing by everybody involved, or if the commission determines that the exterior architectural feature involved or its category, color, blah, 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 is so insubstantial in its effect that it may be reviewed without a hearing. And if we do that, we just send a letter and then we have to wait 10 days. So that was why I posted them this way. And I think we could talk through each project. And if the commission agrees, there
Yep.
potentially a way to expedite these without a full hearing because they don't appear to be major.
No. Yep.
So I don't know if Brendan, if you just wanted to review what you're looking to do.
Sure, sure. So, hello everyone. Brendan Chanel, 16 Washington Street. So, what I was planning on doing was to replace the window units that I currently use in the summer on the, I guess, leftmost side of my house when you look at it from the front, with a more permanently installed mini split, mostly for efficiency, because they're quite a bit more efficient and they also do heating. So it's would be a net savings for me for heating and cooling. So that's what I was planning on doing. I was going to put the condenser behind a bush so you can't really see it. The visual impact would likely be one of those lines that you can see going up the side of the house.
And
Could you explain the mini split again, Brendan? I'm writing this down, so I don't know what a mini split
Sure.
is. Windows?
So it's a split cycle air conditioner. So it's got an outside compressor, and then it's got like an air handler inside. And the benefit is it's a little more efficient because you don't have the cycle happening in the same place, so you don't get heat conduction losses. And it does heating too because it's a heat pump.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
a lot of older homes are utilizing the mini splits right now for central air conditioning and as an additional heat source because, well, one, like Brendan said, they're efficient, and two, the older homes weren't built with ducts running through them necessarily. So it becomes almost impossible sometimes to add a normal air conditioning system with the condensers without major renovations through the whole property. So the mini splits make sense in this scenario.
Yeah, exactly. I have no void space in my walls because it's a post and beam.
Yep.
I know.
Brendan, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do you have oil piping underneath your floor there where you're installing the mini split?
My house is single pipe steam, so I don't have forced hot air. I have a black iron pipe that goes to every room, so I do have two black iron pipes in the corner of that room. Yeah.
Oh, they're iron pipes?
Yeah, exactly. It's just steam. It's a steam feed, and it's only a single pipe. It's not a two pipe steam.
Oh, okay. I have a mini split that I put in my kitchen, which is the oldest part of the house. And because the mini split was on and was comfortable, the zone never called for heat and the pipes froze and burst.
Oh yeah, that's something to definitely be aware of. My thermostat, I only have one zone because it's the single pipe steam, and it's in the center of the house, so it's pretty far away from the air handler. I think I should be okay.
Okay, mine was blowing on it, and yeah, learning experience.
No good. Oh man, that must have been fun.
Yeah, midnight on a Saturday. Great.
Oh, of course.
So according to our design guidelines, it just says, whenever whenever possible, exterior portions should be located away from the public view. When not possible, screening should be utilized. But I think, I think this certainly meets our standard. You're eliminating window units, which even though they're unregulated, they're kind of unsightly. And I think the overall effect on the district is trivial. I don't think there's any point in holding a full hearing or objecting to this.
No.
So I
I
think
certainly appreciate that stance.
if anyone else, I would make a motion then to waive the requirement for a public hearing and issue a certificate of appropriateness for this
Second,
request.
I second. No.
second.
Do we say all those in favor? Or am I missing that?
Yeah, that's your,
Aye.
Ruth, aye.
Jane,
Dan
I.
is aye.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
so it sounded like you didn't have something lined up. The way this works, we have to send a letter to everybody and provide a 10-day period. Not that I think there'd be any comments, but if you were planning to start work like tomorrow, it would need to wait a little bit. That's all.
No, I didn't even pull a building permit yet. I wanted to have the certificate before I did. So no rush from me.
Okay.
Right. Thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
explaining
Appreciate
it.
it.
And
Good luck.
All right.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
And then, so the other item on the agenda is 22 Washington Street, looking to install rooftop solar. And I do have some
Barrett,
pictures I can
you.
screen share.
That's me. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So you're putting solar, I'm assuming, on the front portion of the house for the greatest sun, or is it?
It's actually going to be on the back of the house, so it's not going to be visible from the road.
So then,
It works to their benefit that the most efficient roof space is actually the back. So
okay, good. Yeah, I just didn't know what side of the road you were on. Okay, so I mean,
I
Dan,
can't
in
get the
this
answer
case,
to that on iPhone.
sorry, my phone was trying to talk to
Okay.
my car.
in this case, I mean, it's not even street facing.
Right, and I think, so again, our guidance, is that we're not going to unreasonably restrict solar. They certainly have a value in preserving the home. And, we said roof mountage is permitted whenever possible. They should be located where they're not visible, which, in this case, that was fortunate. Again, I don't see any major impact or any reason that we would want to, require a full hearing. I think, and especially not being visible from the public way. There's really no impact to the district, in my opinion.
I agree.
I do too.
So then, I guess, unless others have other questions, I make the same motion that we waive the requirement for a public hearing because this is insubstantial to the district and issue a certificate pending the whole 10-day review thing.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Jane, I.
Janice, aye.
Deborah?
Ruth, aye.
I'm just going to real quick just share the screen just so these get put in the record.
Cute.
So that's the location on the back of the house.
Oh, good.
Apologies for the terrible drawing on that picture.
And then from the, it's hard to tell on this, but so this up here on the top right is the driveway.
Yep.
So it's like on the side, but it's behind this out. This
Who are
piece.
you having do the solar?
So I represent Trinity Solar. So
Okay.
the homeowner is Tim Donahue, the Donahues.
Okay.
So I'm just the representative of the company.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, again, I think when is the work? When do you guys plan on doing the work?
So we've pretty much just started our permitting process and things like that. So it's probably not going to happen for at least another month, if not a little bit longer.
All right.
So there's a decent amount of time. We have to wait for National Grid to give us the all clear, as well as the town to give us the all clear.
Great. Then Dan, I think it's definitely fine with that 10-day period.
Yep. And this one got caught, so they applied for the permit and it got flagged because it was in the district. So, and then they applied. So that's good. That means that that's all configured properly.
Okay.
So
And then, so how does it work? Because I know you mentioned a letter. So will my company receive a letter, or will the town have a letter on file, or?
I have to, we have to send a letter to all the abutters.
Okay.
So the owner will get a copy of it, and it just says that this project was approved. You know, if you have any objection, you need to notify us in writing by this date. And then at the conclusion of that, we'll issue the certificate, which will be it'll be in Viewpoint.
Okay,
And
perfect.
then I'll upload it to the building permit and sign those off. So our step will get opened up, or closed out, whatever you call it. So hopefully, with any luck, I can do that tonight. If this other meeting doesn't go too long, I just got to get the mailing list from Gene.
Right. Well,
It's Deb's.
Dog.
Yeah.
Just want to pet all of the
Deb?
dogs.
What kind of dog is it, Deb?
well, he's a Catahoula leopard and
Right, hound.
foster cattle.
Yep,
Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself.
that's okay.
All right, and then so that because I have to split at 7, so
Okay, well.
We have another
ought to
meeting.
get through the rest of it pretty quickly.
the only other thing, so there were meeting minutes that, and
Yes.
one of them just got sent out
Sorry.
this morning. So if you didn't get a chance to see it, let me just confirm.
Am I needed for anything else, or?
You are good to go, I
Nope.
believe.
Excellent. Well, thank you
Unless
guys. I
wanna
really
hang
appreciate
out.
it. Yeah, I wish I had coffee. I don't have wine, but I would just hang out. No,
All
thank you
right.
very much, guys. It was nice to meet
All right.
you.
We'll see you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
So the meeting minutes from September 9th, 2021, June 1st, 2021, and then the ones that just went out today were December 2nd, 22.
Okay.
Right, I read them.
So the only thing I'll do is I'll fix the formatting on the most recent one, but
That's
the
okay.
content is the same. Thank you, Jane, for taking on the disaster.
I have a few more. I did have the question about the other one, which must have been 22.
I emailed you back the
Oh,
answer.
okay, I didn't.
It's it was fiscal year. So first of all, that was a fake background. I wasn't at the beach.
No, I knew
Oh,
that,
yeah.
but
Was that-
when
It
you said that.
yeah,
we
because
had-
the fiscal year dates are like ahead. So in December of 21, we would have been in fiscal 22, and fiscal
Okay.
23 starts in July.
Okay, all right,
That's why. Yeah, no, it always screws me up.
all right. I just want to get through them.
But I checked the recording that it was in the video. It had the video, so I made sure it was
Oh,
the
I
right
knew we
thing.
weren't at the beach.
Okay.
I remember that.
Oh, I gotta get this to sign in. Okay.
Ian, are you gonna put them up, like screen share them, and then we'll approve them like that, or did you want?
I mean, unless somebody needed to see them, I wasn't gonna bother.
That's fine.
I
just
mean,
didn't
it's
know what
only
the
you and
flow was.
Jane typed them, and the other two are on the phone, so they won't see anything. So I would make a motion to approve those 3 sets of minutes, so 12/2/22, 9/9/21, and 6/1/21.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Ruth, I.
Can I say aye?
Yeah.
Okay, Jane, aye.
And then the other item was just, and of course, I can't get my calendar on my computer now, a regular meeting date.
Yeah,
So I believe, if it matters, the commission is going with the fourth Monday at 7.
the fourth Monday. Okay.
So if we wanted to do the fourth Monday at 6 and stick to that schedule, or I don't know if there's something that works better for people. It doesn't really matter.
So where would that put us next month? Let's see.
I mean, I
That
don't,
would be April 17th.
it'd be the 27th and then the 24th.
It would be the 24th. Okay, yeah.
So when would the next meeting be?
I mean, I'm not so sure we need to meet on the 27th unless another
I don't-
project comes through.
Okay, let's just plan on the 24th of April unless, like you said, we have to meet regarding another project.
Right.
Is there a meeting tonight
Of what?
for the, I'm Pastor Phil McCutcheon,
Oh.
Bethel Community Church, and
Well, so this is the Historic District Commission is right now, and then Parks is at 7.
I think there's some mistake. I don't think they had a meeting last week about the proposed warehouse.
Yeah, so you're probably looking for planning, conservation, or one of them. Planning was last week.
Yeah, we got an email from somebody one of the neighbors, who said there was a meeting at 6 o'clock tonight. And I said, it got continued last week. I said, they don't usually do the next week if it gets continued. It's usually the next
No, I
month.
thought she said that, well, I think it's the 20th. That's what I see on the town calendar.
20th of March?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
The best thing to do though is if on the website and then
Yeah.
go to the home and go to calendar. And that's like the official posting.
Okay.
But sometimes they continue and don't set the date right away.
Yeah, I think there's
Yeah.
some.
But, or if you, or call Gail tomorrow
Oh, great.
for sure. But yeah, there's nothing tonight.
Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, because it's super helpful to have a set date when we have the public hearings, because then we can just tell them, here's the deadline.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a pain in the butt to book the newspaper and all that. So if that works, we could just plan on that. So plan the next meeting being probably 4:24?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
At 6, if that works.
yeah, that's
Okay.
6.
I'm good with that.
I think that's really it for anything major. I know there should
you
be,
guys- Yeah, I mean, we talked about discussion on the new historic district and then discussion on signage. I mean, I don't know where the state's at with the road, and I kind of feel like the signage is really just gonna fall in line when that
Right.
Route 16 is handled.
2024.
Table it until the
Yeah.
state does road work.
So let's do that then, so. And then, you know, the new districts, I mean,
Well, going through the last set of minutes, I had volunteered the members of the Historical Society, Amy DeWitt, Ruth O'Grady, myself, and Ruth Casanelli, to do the research on those houses because we're doing it for a book anyway. Aren't we, Ruth?
Yes, we are.
We're going back to it, the fun part. So I think that probably makes sense
okay,
since we're doing this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
all right, well, I mean, as you guys start to put those, each address and all the data that goes with them together, then we can kind of
Now, this is the North Avenue district, right, that you want?
I think at some point someone had mentioned going down George Street, but that they felt like North Ave would be the better direction to go first and not to try and combine them together because it would just be too much.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
And North
Yeah, my-
Ave is a pretty big street, so. I mean, and I'm assuming we're gonna go all the way up until Upton Line, really, right? But
Right.
It seemed like pretty much all the way to the line had some interesting properties.
yeah,
And if, with George, if there's one or two that should be included, we could do like individuals at the same time, especially if they're right on the border.
mhm.
That might not be a bad idea.
Although with George Street, there are a lot of houses there
Yeah.
that, so I think that
Yeah.
We might do that separately. And just go down to Neck Hill Road. I don't think there's much beyond Neck Hill Road, actually.
I think probably would, maybe target next annual town meeting. So it gives us, we probably have to have stuff by January 24.
Okay,
I think that, I mean, in terms of what's involved in a whole nother study report and hearing and all that. I think North Ave potentially could have some interesting discussion.
yeah. I think so. I think it would be something that we would really have to kick into gear come fall. Obviously continue doing the research that the Historic Society is doing and then see where we're at in the fall and if we're actually even going to be ready for January, because I mean, there's just so many properties on the street.
Most of them are pretty well documented, though, which is nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good news there.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe it'll be fine.
And we have to take photographs of them for the book anyway, so.
Okay. The only thing I have left at my house is an old well.
Well, that wasn't your fault, though. You didn't plan that, Deb.
Oh, I know. We kept the well though. We felt like, you know what? Someone worked so hard to dig this well and put all those stones in there. They're cool too. We don't use it though.
No, we don't
Yeah.
use ours either. We have a dug well. Actually, we have two, one for the barn and,
wow.
and one for the house.
Yeah.
But we ran out of, when I had two babies in diapers and August came around and no rain. That's when we drilled a well.
Right before about a year before our fire, we had a Christmas Eve party here and the well went dry on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, what is happening?
Water is a lot better though in our dug well because we have a lot of calcium and iron in our.
Well, yeah, that's probably you get ground versus surface water. It's very mineral. I mean, that's what they're having here now. We got manganese and iron, and
Yep.
we have to have a treatment system.
It doesn't even
More money.
Even with all the softeners, my hair, I have all girls, so we all complain about it. It just doesn't matter what you do.
Well, unfortunately, the softeners, all that's all salt, a big,
Yep.
I don't want to be drinking that. I want to
No, we still drink we get the water deliveries, really. We don't even with all of the softeners and the filter, no one wants to drink the water.
Well, I don't know. I need iron and I need calcium.
There you go. It's a sign.
So I drink our water.
Oh, you do. Ours is
Anyway, so I
Well,
guess we're pretty well.
Yeah, there'll be an application at some point for the records room for that project, in the next 6 months, not immediately.
Yeah.
And if this work that ever comes to fruition on Town Hall, there'll be an application to replace the windows. And potentially if they may be installing some sort of a small covering over doorway and doors. I'm not really sure. They were working with engineering, again, stuff in the next 6 months to a year, but
yeah.
I do
That'll
know
be
that
fun.
may be
Yeah.
coming. And Town Hall is if you've been by, they're cruising along.
Yep, looking good.
I just wrote, actually.
What's happening with the well?
Oh,
What's
well,
happening with the well, Dan?
the well's got iron and manganese in it, so now we have to start all over and file for a permit for a treatment system, which they're engineering right now. They just submitted the final well application the other week. But DEP has like 60 days to review.
But don't you think that's normal of most of the water in Mendon?
Oh, yeah, it's just, the problem is it
Most everybody has to
violates
have
their
that.
standards, so we got to follow all the rules, put in treatment.
I'm surprised, didn't you have to test regularly? I'm surprised it didn't pop up before.
Oh, well, so
know.
the old well had manganese in it at the same level, but because it was an existing well, I mean, so to their credit, they were kind of holding off because they knew we were going to be doing a new well. So I think the treatment system was coming. But the problem is because this is a new well, they won't allow us to use it for hand washing or possible drinking until it's like perfect. So it's bureaucracy. It's how it works. But I think they're making progress. It timed in with the town hall project. They're going to have an infiltration thing right outside where it's all dug up. So it could be worse.
Yeah.
Just more money.
Was the old well an artesian?
I don't know. I think that well, so I don't know about the well in the town hall. I think that hand dug fire cistern was the well for this campus until like probably the 60s when they drilled the well that was the one that failed.
I just finished the letter for the record room, getting.
Oh, yeah.
But he had to he was not comfortable until he gets the plans.
Yeah. Well, Kathy just sent, so the record room is potentially going to have a small addition on the back for a handicap bathroom and a ramp out front. So that's what would come before us.
Is there a septic? What's the septic over there? It's not a leaching field, is it?
There's no septic. So I think right now, they're pulling that because it's just too much. So we're going to focus on stabilizing the structure. And then we'll come back for CPA funds. It's probably going to have to be a tight tank and hopefully a shared well with a neighbor.
Yeah, I was saying you're gonna have to end up with a really septic over there, and then it's gonna look all bonkers. I mean, look what they did on the house behind it on Hastings Street. They had to raise up.
I don't think they even have enough land for anything unless they could do a shared septic, which could be possible, but it sounded very complicated.
Yeah.
The engineer that Kathy connected with is really good. Everything, I don't know if you saw the stuff, everything he sent has been very impressive. They're going to do a French drain. They're going to fix all the foundation. They're going to take the flooring out, fix all the structure issues and put it back. But he definitely seems like the right fit for the job.
Good.
So.
I don't know if I'm going to share the well with Mark Keenum, maybe?
Well, so we got to talk to council. That's complicated because I think theoretically you could share with any of those properties. So I think it has to go out to bid. And you basically would be a negotiated easement that you'd have to buy into it and have something recorded in the registry of deeds.
I don't know what the well is like at 5 Maple Street. See, the problem is,
right.
I don't have any say over those 3 properties because David bought them before we were married, and my name is not on them.
But
so there you go. So I had a lot of persuading.
Yeah. Well, the septic I don't think ties in because the septics are all, you don't build a septic system with excess capacity. You build it to what you need.
Right.
So
a tight tank.
You'd have to expand it, but I think, and then if this town water, if something ever happens with town water, you get that, but that could be 10 years down the road.
Well, if they hit.
Well, they did the study. I don't know if you saw that meeting the other week. It's a fascinating report. It's $66 million, but.
Well, I know Cataldo wanted to, when Vinnie Cataldo was on the water board, he wanted to take Misco by eminent domain, and everybody just poo-pooed it because there wasn't enough water, and they don't look 50 years down the road.
Well, I don't know if the rules have changed. The documentation I saw seemed to indicate that DEP would not allow Misco Springs to be used for supplying customers, but the problem is back then, 10, 20, 30 years ago,
right?
Things are different. But it's interesting though, that does not come up when they're doing all their studies, and they identified a few areas and they're going to do test wells.
They've done that.
So, now we have real big money, and this engineering firm is also really impressive. So I don't know if it'll, I think it very likely won't pass a town meeting, but I think at least we're going to have a proposal that'll be brought forward and people can talk about it.
Well, I think that certainly there are people the people around the lake need relief. I'm.
Well,
right in this area.
Between the issues, the school has issues, this has issues. You can't have any commercial development in the downtown area.
We need town water and town sewer.
Yeah.
We need sewage.
Well, hey, the sewer was not good. It was 126 million. It was a lot of money.
Well, there was one.
Their recommendation was it's not viable, but.
Uxbridge actually gave us that option a few years ago, quite a few years ago. And somebody in town who was on one of the boards said, if we do that, people will build houses and we'll have to educate their kids. And I thought, we educated 5 of yours.
We should,
No, it's just my dad.
we should adjourn this meeting and then
Yes,
we can,
let's adjourn it.
so,
Okay,
motion to adjourn and then,
okay, seconded.
all right.
Like, I'm gonna say